You might not know this. All around London, especially on older brick buildings, you might spot small plaques under certain windows that say ancient lights. Sounds mysterious, but it's actually a real British property law that gives homeowners the lifelong right to receive natural sunlight through a window, as long as that window has had direct sunlight for at least 20 straight years. That means, if your window qualifies, your neighbor can't legally block your sunlight by building a wall, putting up a structure, or even planting tall trees that cast a shadow. And yes, homeowners can sue if they feel their ancient light is being stolen. Did you know? Around 62% of Icelanders believe elves are real, not just in fairy tales, but actually living out in nature. In and around Reykjavik, you'll actually find tiny houses built for elves, dwarves, and winged fairies, tucked away near hillsides, forests, rivers, and even cracks in the rocks. Some spots even have mini churches, so priests can baptize and pray for these invisible beings. Locals truly believe that disturbing their homes could bring serious bad luck, and most don't take that risk. It might sound crazy, but Iceland has a real elf school. For $60, you can take a one-day crash course on 13 types of hidden beings, how to sense spiritual energy around you, and explore the mysterious link between humans and the spirit world. The school's run by historian Magnus Skarfedinsson, who says Iceland is home to over 20,000 supernatural creatures. And based on how many Icelanders agree with him, he might be onto something. So where does this belief come from? 100 years ago, Icelanders lived in turf houses and made a living from fishing and sheep herding. Long, dark winters pushed them to share tales of heroes and magical beings, and over time, the line between myth and reality blurred. Plus, Iceland's wild landscape, with volcanoes, glaciers, waterfalls, and the northern lights, feels like a scene from a fantasy novel. In a place that magical, believing in elves almost feels natural. Did you know? Your mind keeps going, even after your heart stops. For up to 10 minutes after death, the brain's memory center can still be active. During those final moments, your most emotional memories, joy, love, heartbreak, can replay like a slow-motion movie, vivid and real. And then, gently, your mind fades into that eternal sleep. So whether your last 10 minutes are filled with peace or regret, that part's up to you. Lake Maracaibo in Venezuela holds the record as the most lightning-hit place on Earth. This isn't just about storms, it's a full-on light show almost every night. We're talking about 300 stormy nights a year, with lightning sometimes flashing for 10 hours straight. At peak moments, there can be up to 28 strikes in just 1 minute. That's enough power to light up 100 million light bulbs. That's not weather, that's fireworks from the gods. So why does the sky keep lighting up over Lake Maracaibo? Imagine a hot lake surrounded by mountains. All day long, the sun heats the water, creating moist, warm air that rises. At night, cold mountain winds move in, and that's when things get interesting. Warm, moist air meets cold, dry air, and the result is powerful storms. Clouds start building up 40,000 feet high, and inside them, water droplets collide with ice crystals, creating electricity that eventually releases in a dramatic flash of lightning. The color of the lightning changes depending on the humidity, pink, orange, or purple when the air's moist, and bright white when it's dry, like a camera flash on full blast. Locals don't just live with the lightning, they use it. It's called Catatumbo lightning, but some folks call it the Maracaibo beacon. Why? Because it's so crazy bright, you can see it from 250 miles away. Fishermen literally steer their boats by it. No GPS? No problem. Just follow the sky that won't shut up. In Japan, there's a notebook so unusual, it's called the Onion Notebook. And yes, it's designed to make you cry every time you write in it. The secret? The pages are infused with a compound similar to the stuff found in onions. As your pen glides across the paper and your hand warms the page, the heat releases the tear-inducing compound, and before you know it, you're getting emotional. Even the paper itself is special, ultra-thin, almost like real onion skin. The idea came from a playful thought. We use notebooks all the time, but rarely feel anything when we write. So, why not create a notebook that makes every note a little more emotional? Why does a hard-boiled egg have a green ring around the yolk? It's all thanks to a chemical reaction between iron in the yolk and sulfur in the egg white. The egg white contains two sulfur-rich amino acids, cysteine and methionine. When exposed to high heat, They break down and release hydrogen sulfide gas. Yes, the same stuff that smells like rotten eggs. This gas travels inward and reacts with the iron in the yolk, creating iron sulfide, a greenish-gray compound that forms that familiar green ring around the yolk when an egg is overcooked. Inside these giant steel tanks are the frozen bodies of over 200 people, preserved in hopes that future science might bring them back. They're stored at the Alcor Life Extension Foundation in the Arizona desert. The process begins the moment someone is declared legally dead. While the organs are still intact, a team cools the body with ice, flushes out the blood, and pumps in preservation fluids. At Alcor, antifreeze-like chemicals are added to prevent ice crystals from damaging tissues. Finally, the bodies are stored in liquid nitrogen at -320 degrees Fahrenheit, waiting for a second chance at life, whenever science is ready. Deep in Sweden's forests, you'll find strange metal cages just sitting there. They're not traps, they're bear shelters. Open by default, locked only from the inside, and equipped with emergency radios. If you run into a bear, you jump in, lock up, and call for help. Sweden doesn't mess around when it comes to safety in the wild. Did you know? Your eyes might be strangers to your own body. Your eyeballs aren't fully part of your immune system. In fact, each eye has its own immune privilege, which means for most of your life, your body doesn't even know your eyes are there. But here's the wild part. If your eye gets injured, say, your lens breaks and leaks protein into your bloodstream, your immune system might freak out, thinking it's under attack. It starts producing antibodies, raises your body temperature, and in worst-case scenarios, it can even attack your other healthy eye, thinking it's a threat too. That's why eye injuries can be so dangerous. If one eyeball is seriously hurt and left untreated, the other one might get caught in the crossfire and go down with it. The world's oldest drinkable wine is kept in a barrel from 1472 at the Hospices de Strasbourg in France. It's been tasted only 3 times in over 550 years, each occasion marking a historic milestone. The 1560 Swiss Alliance, the 1871 hospital reconstruction, and the 1944 liberation of Strasbourg. It's a remarkable symbol of preservation, a testament to the centuries of care that have kept it intact. The wine, older than many civilizations, is a rare and treasured relic, one that continues to intrigue and awe. Sikkim, one of the smallest states in India, nestled in the Himalayas, transformed 760 square kilometers of farmland by eliminating harmful chemicals. This bold move restored the soil, brought wildlife back, and revitalized the ecosystem. As the first region to go fully organic, Sikkim sets a powerful example of how sustainable farming can shape a healthier planet, showing us that the future of agriculture might just lie in going back to nature. This isn't a piece of art. It's a real cocoon made by a cyanide caterpillar. It's called a hairnet cocoon because it looks just like a tiny cage made of crossed silk hairs or setae. The top and bottom openings let the caterpillar shed its old skin and emerge like it's getting a magical upgrade. Nature's design? Next level. The strongest leaf in the world? That'd be the Victoria amazonica, a giant water lily from the Amazon that can grow up to 10 feet wide and hold the weight of a small kid. Flip it over, and you'll find a brilliant network of ribs and air-filled chambers that keep it afloat like a natural raft. Discovered by British explorers in 1801, it made such a splash that it was named after young Queen Victoria and became a symbol of the British Empire. Beauty, brains, and brawn, all in one leaf. $18.9 million for a coin that says just 20 bucks? Yep, that's exactly what someone paid for the legendary 1933 Double Eagle, a gold coin that's more famous for its forbidden past than its price tag. Measuring only 34 millimeters across, this little piece of gold carries a whole saga of drama, politics, theft, royalty, and even a near-death experience during one of America's darkest days. Here's the drama-packed timeline. It was minted in 1933, only to be recalled and melted down after President Roosevelt ended the use of gold coins. Just 10 coins escaped the meltdown. One of them was stolen by a Mint employee named George McCann. In 1944, it ended up in the hands of King Farouk of Egypt. but vanished when he was overthrown in 1952. Decades later, in 2001, it resurfaced with a British dealer named Stephen Fenton and was seized by US authorities. The coin was almost lost again during the 9/11 attacks. It was being stored in a vault beneath the World Trade Center. But in 2021, it made history once more, for a jaw-dropping $18.9 million, officially becoming the most valuable coin ever sold. Did you know the word salary comes from salt? 2,000 years ago, Roman soldiers were sometimes paid in salt. It was that valuable. Salt wasn't just a seasoning back then. It was essential for preserving food and driving trade. The Romans even built entire roads just to transport it. In a way, this humble mineral helped fund an empire. Here's how horses travel by plane. They're transported in specially padded and ventilated stalls inside cargo aircraft, with caretakers on board to ensure their well-being throughout the flight. Why does the trip home always feel shorter than the trip there? Ever caught yourself saying, "Wait, we're home already? That was fast." Well, you're not alone. Scientists call this the return trip effect, that odd feeling where the way back seems way shorter than the way there, even when it's the exact same route. And here's why. Reason 1. Your brain loves what's familiar. When you're heading home, your brain already knows the road. It recognizes the turns, the scenery, the rhythm. That sense of familiarity makes the trip feel smoother and shorter. Reason 2. The excitement messes with your sense of time. On the way there, you're pumped. You're wondering, are we there yet? How much longer? This anticipation stretches your perception of time. But on the way back, you're chill, less focused on the destination, and boom, you're home before you know it. Reason 3. You watch the clock too much. Especially on longer trips, we tend to track the time closely when heading out, checking the GPS, counting minutes, making mental notes. That constant clock watching actually makes the journey feel longer. But on the return trip, you're way less obsessed with the time, and time flies. Fun fact from the bird rescue world. When caring for baby birds, rescuers often cover their faces and wear cloaks or gloves. Why? To prevent something called imprinting, when a bird starts thinking its human caretaker is its mom. If that happens, the bird may get too attached to humans, and when released into the wild, it might not fear people, which puts it in real danger. So by hiding all human features, rescuers are actually protecting the bird's future. Also, inside their cozy little incubators, many baby birds get a tiny mirror as a roommate. That's not for selfies. It's there to help the chick feel less lonely. Birds are social animals, and being isolated from their flock can stress them out. A mirror gives the illusion of a companion, which helps with emotional comfort and even supports normal social behavior like preening and self-care. Turns out a 1,000-year-old eye remedy from Anglo-Saxon times can wipe out 90% of MRSA in lab tests. The recipe? Garlic, onion, wine, and a splash of cow bile, straight out of a medieval manuscript. Funny thing is, this ancient mix worked better than some antibiotics today. Who knew the Middle Ages had better medicine than modern science? Meet the world's longest car, stretching over 100 feet. It's got 26 wheels, a swimming pool, a king-sized bed, a jacuzzi, and even its own helipad. It's not just a car, it's a mobile luxury mansion on wheels. You've seen it in movies. Someone drops a lit cigarette into a pool of gasoline and boom, instant fire. But in reality, that's pure Hollywood. Researchers tested this over 2,000 times. And guess what? Not once did the petrol ignite. Turns out, movies got it all wrong. The Irish elk, once the largest deer to ever roam the earth, grew to an astonishing size, with antlers spanning up to 12 feet. Here's a Caterpillar 797 tire worth $42,000, the price of about 3 2025 Nissan Sunny cars. Inside a submarine, a cross-section view. Ever wondered what the inside of a submarine looks like? A cross-section reveals its intricate design, from living quarters and control rooms to torpedo bays and powerful engines. Every inch is engineered for maximum efficiency beneath the waves. The Binhai Library, known as the Eye of Tianjin, China, is a massive cultural hub spanning 33,700 square meters and housing up to 1.2 million books. A full-size replica of an 18th-century ship is sailing down the River Thames in London as part of its tour across Europe.